and welcome back to the Cheltenham Exchange. Ante Post 6, I believe. I could be wrong.
Number 6.
Post VI in Roman numerals. They added effect there. So yeah, welcome back. I'm on a bit of a begging mission to begin with, so if you're joining us tonight, please like the video. It helps us out any way you can. Obviously, do the usual and subscribe and tell your friends and everything. But if you can give our video a little like, it may help us and just get a bit more traction on our videos. Get some nice guests wanting to come on with us. It might help Alex get a better haircut. Who knows? Who knows?
I need all the help I can get, mate. To be honest.
I'm only joking, Alex. Very nice haircut. So yeah, like the videos, and in fact, if you're feeling in the mood, why in the comments put up your best bet for the festival so far, as we're getting much closer. We're rolling into February in a couple of days. So we're what are we now? 6 weeks away.
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks tomorrow.
Yes. So it's time to get your bets in the comments. Chuck us your best bet so far. Like that idea. You like that one, Alex? Like that idea?
I love it. And if Johnny hasn't got it backed already, I'm sure he'll back it as well. So,
well,
yeah.
There's nowhere else we could start, is there? There is nowhere else we could start. Trials day on Saturday at Cheltenham. The main man, Johnny Boy, 5 winners he posted up. 5 winners he posted up on last week's video.
It had to happen sometime.
How does it feel, John?
Oh, just fantastic. I'd like to thank my mum, my dad.
Brilliant. Great performance there. Great performance. I think I've got an inkling, but which was the sweetest winner for you?
Has to be a Hoy Senor. Finally, he did the job.
Someone was calling him a pig on the Ante Post on the preview. Now I'm not sure who that was.
That way.
Blame Jamie.
And well done to Ronan, who commented on our video and said he won a lot of money off Johnny's tips. So congratulations, Ronan.
Yeah, well done, Ronan.
Look forward to the pipe, Ronan.
Lovely. So yes, Ante Post 6. Full crew in. Matty just getting his pre-match yawn out the way there. The nerves. Tonight, so the nerves are getting to him then. He's limbering up.
Yeah, I've got to put 2 up tonight, haven't I? Because I've got to make it even.
Yeah. You can kick us off right away.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start down with more into handicaps now, especially with firms going non-run and no bet. Cool Cody, 33 to 1 for the play. Sky Bet paying 5 places, non-run and no bet. Won the race last year of 145. Similar prep run to what he's done this year, running a trials day last year of 147, and he dropped to 145. I rewatched the race again today from the weekend. He had a lovely race, nice jumping all the way through, ridden from the front end with the eventual race winner Il Rodotto, up to around 2 out, where the jockey just eased off him nicely. Obviously, the revised mark hasn't come out just yet. I'm expecting that'll be out tomorrow or next day. I'd imagine he'll be dropping down to around 144. He's getting on a bit now. Could be one last hurrah for him in March. But you get a good solid run out of him. He jumps well, goes from the front. I think at 33 to 1, he's the one for me. Can get 40s with Unibet, but he's generally 33 to 1 broken, with Sky Bet being non-run and no bet. It makes sense to me.
Loves the course.
I didn't realise. I mean, you lads, I always back it. Didn't on the weekend because it's not the right time. With March in mind, but one of the lads, Mike Snellgrove, he gave me a nod the other week to say I'll that sort of made me have another look again just to see, because I hadn't looked at the handicaps properly till then.
Lovely. Cool Cody in the plate for Matty, 33 to 1. Nice. Okay, so fresh from his mad weekend. John the Hammer currently on pin. Oh, Derby have just scored.
No, they haven't.
Go on, John. Give us your latest post bet.
Well, I'm going to put the one up that I put up on Ginger Joe's Racing Show a couple of weeks ago. And I'm in fact a little even more behind it now after the weekend's events. But the horse in question is Common Practice for the Boodles Handicap Hurdle. So it's my first handicap of this year's Ante Post videos. I think he's 20-1 best price with Sky Bet, non-runner no bet. Now they've come in, it makes the handicaps a little bit more appealing, because if they don't go to these races, you'll get your money back. And like Matty said, they're paying 5 places as well. I think he's 20-1 with Bet365 as well, but I think they're only the 4 places. But you do have the cash out facility on that. So yeah, on his form, he was well beaten by Blood Destiny the other week, but he was given a pretty sort of quiet ride by Luke Dempsey in that, if you watch the race back. Prior to that, in December, he was behind the current Triumph favourite Lossiemouth. But in that race, if you watch it back, he's a couple of lengths. He finishes behind Comfort Zone, who obviously won at the weekend in the Triumph trial there. Now, Comfort Zone got a Triumph entry before that race, as did Takao, who is also a JP horse. But Common Practice was left out of that. So as far as I can see, this is the only race he's probably he's going to be aimed at now. His rating is 128 at the moment, which would get him into the Boodles comfortably. The same connections won the race last year with Brazil off 137. So I just think he's got the perfect profile for this race, to be perfectly honest with you. And yeah, I've gone in again on him since the weekend. I think 20s is a very, very fair price on him.
Lovely. Thank you, John.
And West Ham have just gone 2-0 up.
Was the Derby goal disallowed, was it?
No, it never happened, OJ.
Common Practice 20-1. Probably.
Yeah. I think
Probably
you can get
12.
25s if you don't take the non-runner no bet option. So depends if people want to risk the extra 5 points. But I think 20 is pretty fair.
It's probably 12s by this point, John, with the reputation. Now, people will have listened.
Well, I hope not. I've not backed him yet.
They're already on. Love it. Great stuff, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Where are we going? Rain Man.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be fairly quick, which is unusual for me, purely because I discussed this horse on our Trials Day video. The horse won for me and Johnny, and it's Comfort Zone. And I'm going to back him 10-1 each way for the Triumph Hurdle. He won his maiden, so I went a bit of blankness. He won his maiden hurdle in November at Navan. So beating Jazzy, Matty and Takao. As we know, they both went on to win their previous races. Takao is the favourite at the moment for the Boodles. Then went to Chepstow and won a juvenile hurdle, beating Dixon Cove by neck. So we had the unfortunate news about Dixon Cove today. And our friend Perseus Way, Perseus, it was 2 lengths into third. But then obviously with me being and us, a lot of us being at Cheltenham, won the race, beating Scriptwriter into second by 3/4 of a length. Nice ride by John Joe mid-division, led up until the last 100 yards. A cracking ride in my eyes. Found out today that Comfort Zone has got an Irish mark of 132. Now, I believe he ran off 130 on Saturday. So I would expect him to go up a few more pound. I don't know, 135, 136, maybe even higher than that. So I think with that mark, I know that I think Brazil, as John said, won off a higher mark in the Boodles, but I think potentially he could be JP's Triumph horse, where you got Common Practice and Takao and a few others that possibly will go into the Boodles. So that's why I'm putting him up for the Triumph. So it's, again, Comfort Zone, each way, 10-1.
Zone 3. It was a good finish that with Scriptwriter on Saturday.
Yeah. But I think Johnny was texting and saying about Scriptwriter had the saddle mark slipped as well. So they may have potentially affected the race, but we'll soon know in a few weeks.
I think Paddy just come out and said on that the horse just doesn't like the whip in the end. So he can use it.
He don't like the whip. Alex
don't like the whip.
Okay. I've got one quite a nice price that I think you might like, OJ, for your 50p's. It's one I mentioned on a show before, but during a Q&A session when we were looking for dark horses. A horse called Shanbally Kid, and I like him for the Albert Bartlett. Currently best price of 40 to 1. You can get slightly lower if you want non-run and no bet, but that's up to you to decide what you want to do with that. Reason I like him, he was given a big sort of tip in a column of, funny enough, of Brian Hayes's. He'd done some riding out at the Mullins Yard and said he'd ridden him, and he thought that there wouldn't be too many horses better in terms of stayers for this season. He then ran it at Christmas, running a 2-mile race. It looked like he was well beaten, but just plugged on. It wasn't even beaten that far. He then stepped up at the end of February, ran at Navan over 2.5 miles and won. And it looked like the further he went, the better he got. I mean, the jockey got sort of stuck into him and he responded so much for the pressure. Just looks to me like a real tough, gritty Albert Bartlett type. And I mean, at the current prices, I think he's a really good option. I know Mullins also has that Embassy Gardens in the race, and it seems to be just those two for Willie that are going to be likely to run in that race. And I'm not really particularly impressed with that form from Embassy Gardens race. I know he won by a long way, but he was beating a load of horses rated like 105, 110. So I don't really see that being his number one horse for the Bartlett. Whereas this is the horse that came over from Richard O'Brien's yard, won a bumper. It's now with Jigginstown as well. I mean, they love a stare, don't they? Jigginstown. They love a proper 3-mile horse. And I think he's got a real big chance. And I think if he hadn't disappointed first time over 2 miles, which was clearly nowhere near far enough for him, I think he'd be a lot shorter now. And looking back to last year, funnily enough, had a look at the Nice Guy, who obviously won the Bartlett last year. The Nice Guy started off at Christmas and ran over 2 miles, the same as what Shanbally Kid's done. He then went over 2.5 miles at the end of January, which is what Shanbally Kid's done, and then he then won the Bartlett. So similar sort of plotting. So yeah, I thought it was quite an interesting one there.
Plotting. We like a bit of plotting. We like a plot.
Similar profile, similar placing of races, and stepping up in trip, and yeah,
nice. Got me 50p's at the ready.
Love it.
Nearest bookmaker is about 300 miles away from me, man, so I might have to convert that to online currency. Thank you very much, Alex. 40 to 1. Beautiful. And so back to Matty, who's levelling off by posting 2 selections tonight. We are going to be doing a review of where we're at with Ante Post soon, I think, aren't we? We're going to have a night where we're just going to have a quick chat.
I think so.
Yeah, in the coming week.
So, that should be good. Should be a good night. So, come on, Matty, hit us with your second.
Yeah, well, this one's spent the afternoon today. I've had a bit of time off work and I had some time, so I spent the day rewatching some races. It's a horse that's been mentioned on the show tonight. I was told by a certain Jonathan Evans I wasn't allowed to put him up first because he was no point in coming on otherwise. Alex and Ian are like, you shouldn't both be putting up the same horse. But we both put 2 up on the weekend that both won. Ahoy Senor and Stage Star. We both agreed on that one. And it is common practice in the Boodles. He's available at 20 to 1 non-run and no bet, as Johnny said. Sky playing 5 places. Like I said, I rewatched his runs today. Galway in October, his last 3 runs, sorry. Galway in October, first to 14, won easily, travelled strongly throughout, jumped well. Eased clear after the last one, nudged to extend. Fairy House in December, 4th and 12 behind Lossy Mouth, Zarak the Brave, Comfort Zone. Travelled into the race extremely well and was right in contention up to 2 out. He made a mistake at the last, but I don't think that would have mattered too much. And Fairy House this month, second behind Blood Destiny, beating a good 18 lengths. Again, seemed to travel through the race okay and kept amongst the other horses. I could see the jockey was never overly hard on him. A couple of taps on the neck approaching the last, but mainly a Hansen-heeled ride to finish best of the rest that day. He's not entered in the Triumph, as Johnny said. He's got a mark of 128 in Ireland at present. most likely go up a couple of pounds with the Irish chaps, but I think he's still got a fair few pounds in hand. He's had 12 races under rules between flat and hurdles in some decent sized fields, so I can't see the hustle and bustle of this race bothering him at all. 20 to 1 non-runner, no bet. I think it's a solid bet at this moment in time. I will be, the way I bet Ante Post, I'll be going win only on him on this.
GSI.
Stuck in.
Is it not worry if does JP McManus know how to position a horse in a handicap? I mean, does he know what he's doing? You know, I love a JP handicap plot, Matty. Thank you very much, sir. So, Matty and John both putting up common practice in the Boodles tonight at 20 to 1. Price was 12 to 1 after John put it. It's 8 to 1 now. Alex 40 to 1. Shan Valley Kid. That's now 10s. And Ian's put a comfort zone for the Triumph at 10 to 1. That's now
100 to 1.
Out to 40.
Ian, you know it's not a Henderson horse, don't you? Comfort zone.
No. Well, the Henderson horse I've picked has not even bloody run yet, so I thought I'm going to.
You've had it falling out here.
Oh, my Ante Post was you saying about the potential video. I think I'll be able to talk about one horse. All my picks. So I'm. I don't know.
All good fun. All good fun.
Yeah. Join the Ante Post.
Horses can be revived, Ian. Just look at a Hoy Senor.
Oh, well, hopefully with a blazing coal to make an appearance.
Wait till Game Face wins the Grand National next year.
Game Face.
Right. So, yeah, common practice in the Boodles for John and Matty. Alex, Shan Valley Kid in the Albert Bartlett, 40 to 1. Ian, Comfort Zone in the Triumph for 10 to 1. And Matty, that old favourite, Cool Cody in the plate, follow-up. Second year on the trot, currently 33 to 1. Those are the latest Ante Post bets. And I think we've only got one more, have we?
One more in 3 weeks' time, yeah.
Lovely.
And I believe it has to be a handicap selection. Is that right, Johnny? Is that the rule?
Yeah, I think the handicap selection next time.
Because we're recording it the night that the handicap entries come out, I believe.
Yes.
Night before, isn't it now?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with handicap then.
We might even put 2 up on that night.
Lovely.
There's loads to get stuck into.
Thank you very much. And while we're on thanks, so thanks again to everybody who watched and got involved in the old I'll take these off. The old Sales Day preview. Thank you to Katie and JB Wren, of course, who were on with us. It was a good fun evening, and of course, I don't know whether we've mentioned John had 5 winners on that day. I may have slipped our mind. Thanks to everyone for watching that. While we're on the subject, look out for an interview that's coming out later on in the week. We've had an interview with the trainer DJ Jeffries. Well worth a watch. Absolute superstar of a man.
Proper character.
Top bloke. It was great fun, that was, and will be well worth a watch later on in the week. So yeah, remember to like and share and get your Ante Post picks in the comments down below, down there.
Don't forget, Thursday night we're doing the Dublin Racing Festival. We're talking about characters.
Dublin Racing Festival Thursday night.
We've got Dave on, and then obviously and Barry from Champ, who we've never met before, but she'll be able to give us the Irish angle.
And when will that come out? Friday morning, is it? Ian?
Friday morning.
Lovely. Lots to look forward to. It's all getting very hectic now. 6 weeks tomorrow until the big off. And as always, thanks to Lloyd at Hacked Up Racing Gifts. I'm sporting my t-shirt.
And if you use our code exchange25, get 25% off on Hacked Up Racing.
Superb.
Lovely
Right
plug.
inside the festival. It's a plug. It's a plug.
That was exchange25.
Exchange.
Sure.
For our French viewers. Okay, enough of that nonsense. So, yes, thank you, gents. Thanks for your picks. Thanks everybody for watching, and be sure to tune in later in the week for DJ's interview and the Dublin Racing Festival preview. So yeah, that's all for now, folks. Thank you and good night.